Ever find yourself people watching, like
Yeah.
on the train? Just glancing at someone and trying to like guess their story.
Oh, all the time. I think it's kind of human nature, right, to be curious about others.
Totally. But imagine if that person, the one you're watching, was actually caught up in some crazy mystery.
Uh,
And you were the one trying to figure it all out.
Sounds like a good thriller novel waiting to happen.
Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today. Paula Hawkins, The Girl on the Train.
Ah, a classic. I love how she takes this really mundane thing, like a daily commute, and turns it into something so gripping.
Right. For this deep dive, we're using a really cool episode summary from the Bookish Bites podcast. They do such a great job of breaking down the plot and the characters.
Yeah, I'm familiar with their work, always insightful. So the girl on the train, where do we even begin?
Well, I think it all starts with our main character, Rachel. She's, how do I put this? She's not exactly living her best life.
Yeah, she's dealing with a lot. Alcoholism, a recent divorce, and all the emotional baggage that comes with that. It makes her, well, a bit of an unreliable narrator.
Totally. Like, we're seeing the whole story through her eyes, but can we really trust what she's seeing? Especially since she's, like, fixated on this couple she sees from the train window every day, Megan and Scott.
The seemingly perfect couple, and Rachel's fascination with them, it kind of speaks to that longing for a life she feels like she's lost.
For sure. And I think that longing, that envy, it might be distorting her perception of them, Like, remember that part where she's describing Megan, like almost idolizing her?
Absolutely. It's like she's projecting her own desires onto them, creating this idealized version of their relationship.
Exactly. But then things get really intense. Rachel witnesses something shocking involving Megan.
And that's when her world, which was already kind of shaky, completely implodes.
Yeah, it becomes this catalyst for the whole mystery.
Yeah.
Because we're like right there with Rachel, experiencing everything through her. It's hard to tell what's real and what's, maybe a product of her imagination.
Right, right. Hawkins is so good at playing with that ambiguity, keeping us as readers constantly on edge.
Totally. The book also explores these big themes of identity, obsession, and how our memories can be so easily, like, twisted.
Yes, it makes you realize how subjective truth can be, especially when it's filtered through our own experiences and emotions.
Which brings us to another really interesting aspect of the book, the multiple perspectives. We're not just stuck with Rachel's viewpoint.
Oh, right. We also get to hear from Megan and Scott, getting glimpses into their lives, their thoughts, and that just adds another layer of complexity to the whole thing.
It's true. We're constantly comparing their accounts to Rachel's, trying to piece together, like, who's telling the truth, who's hiding something.
It's like a puzzle where the pieces keep shifting. You think you're getting close to the solution, and then bam, everything changes.
Exactly. So is Rachel a victim? Is she, maybe a little unhinged and creating this drama in her head?
That's the big question, right? And I think that ambiguity, that uncertainty about her role is what makes The Girl on the Train so captivating.
Absolutely. And it's not just a thriller. It's like a deep dive into human psychology.
Exactly. It shows us how our perceptions, our memories can be so heavily influenced by who we are, what we're going through. Like our desires and our fears can literally shape what we see.
It's kind of mind-blowing. So, next time you're out and about, maybe on a train, and you find yourself observing someone, creating a story about them in your head.
Remember, Rachel.
Yeah, exactly. And ask yourself, am I really seeing this person clearly? Or is my perception colored by my own experiences, my own baggage?
It's a really fascinating thing to consider. How much of what we see is actually real and how much is our own minds filling in the blanks.
Right. Makes you think twice about those snap judgments we make about people, doesn't it?
For sure. Maybe there's more to everyone's story than meets the eye.
And maybe that's a good thing to keep in mind.
Absolutely.
Well, that wraps up our deep dive into The Girl on the Train.
Definitely a thought-provoking read.
Thanks for joining me.
It's been a pleasure.